Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for a brand new Chelsea FC news video. It's Friday, we've got press conferences to look forward to today. Frank Lampard will be talking to the media about the game that we're playing on Saturday evening at the Hawthorns against West Brom, newly promoted club, early in the season off the back of a 6-0. If you haven't seen the 6 things we learned from Chelsea 6, Barnsley 0, I advise you to go and do so. It was in slightly different settings to my bedroom with the Yes guys behind me. Beautiful little sunrise in Bali. It was delightful. 6-0 is a perfect segue into this kind of fixture this weekend, and of course the match preview will be out tomorrow morning so that you guys can feast your eyes on it before we get the match in the evening, and then 6 things we learned after the game. When the football season's back, everything just flows perfectly. We don't have to scramble for gossip, we don't have to scramble for speculation, because not only is there stuff going on the pitch for us to discuss, but, you know, it's Chelsea. We've had one of the most incredible transfer windows in living memory, and we've got another player to announce in today's video. I'm going to talk a little bit about the effect of Kai Havertz's hat-trick on what it might do to Frank Lampard's team selection moving forward. But we're going to start today with the big news that is the arrival of Edouard Mendy from Rennes. It's one of those transfers, a bit like the Havertz one, that we kind of all knew about for quite some time. Frank Lampard, whenever he's asked the question in the media, in the press, about is Mendy going to be a Chelsea player? What we've known from Frank Lampard during all of his interviews as managers is he answers in the most diplomatic way possible. When I sit and watch an interview, I kind of already know word for word what he's going to say before he's even said it. There's never really any curveballs with a Frank Lampard interview. So we've all been waiting on tenterhooks for Chelsea to announce Mendy's deal. The deal took longer to go through because Rennes were being a little stubborn about the prices that they want. Personal terms were agreed a long time ago. And not only is this signing exciting because I think we all know that we probably need another goalkeeper through the door, but Edouard Mendy has been a Chelsea fan since he was a kid, and he says it's been his dream to play for Chelsea Football Club, which again, if we bring it back to the lexis used by all footballers in interviews regarding new moves, they always say the best things because they want the fans on side, they want the club to feel like they're in love with the club already. But genuinely, considering Edouard Mendy's story, when it looked as though a few years ago he wasn't even going to be a professional footballer for a career, it's a beautiful story, and I'm very excited to see him come in. He's 6'5", he's a big goalkeeper, good at claiming balls out the air, a very good shot stopper as well. And we all know what happened last time we made a signing in the goalkeeper position from Rennes in France. So Edouard Mendy is signed. It might be a little bit too soon to see him in the starting 11 for the game against West Brom because he's not had that much time to train with the boys. I think maybe today would be the only training session he has. So despite Kepa not really filling us with confidence, we might see Willy Caballero starting goal for this game against West Brom. Caballero was flawless in the game against Barnsley. You guys said to me, like, why did you not give him a green box? Why didn't you talk about Emerson? I forgot to talk about Emerson. I will own up to that one. But I did mention how good Willy was. But I think the focus with a lot of these new players coming in is how quickly players seem to be settling at Chelsea. So, perfect segue away from the Edouard Mendy signing. Welcome to Chelsea Football Club, the greatest club on earth. Mr. Edouard Mendy, we're excited to see you in the shirt. Kepa Arrizabalaga. I was not going to talk about this one first, but I will talk about it. Supposedly, there's an Italian club looking to rent. I can't believe I've just said that. There's an Italian club looking to loan Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea. Now, my thoughts on this one are that it's probably the best move for Kepa if this season he does lose his place, which, if we look at his confidence trajectory and his performance trajectory, it doesn't bode well for Kepa's future as Chelsea's number 1. Frank Lampard's come out and said that Mendy's been brought in as competition for Kepa, but I think realistically, when we take into account the mistake last week at Liverpool, all of the bad words that have been said about him, I think a move away from Chelsea this season, a loan move, could give him the opportunity for a fresh start. It means that we do manage to keep Kepa if he does happen to have a very good season and he manages to build his confidence back. There are rumours it could be someone like Roma. I don't actually know who it is. I think this is just something that's been plucked out of the air. But it might be something that Chelsea would consider. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Kepa should go out on loan? If so, where would you like to see him go? Who needs a goalkeeper? Where could he be getting first team minutes every single week and still competing in European competition? So obviously if Kepa does go out on loan, it means that Willy Caballero will still be Chelsea's number 2, and I don't think anyone's too disappointed about that one. He's a great figure in the dressing room. He made some brilliant saves against Barnsley, showing that it doesn't matter how old you are, when you're a goalkeeper, if you've still got the techers, you've still got the techers. So we're going to move now into bringing back up that Barnsley friendly. And of course, we all know by now, because we've all been ranting and raving about it, Mr. Kai Havertz, he managed to score not just 1 or 2, he managed 3, a hat-trick. For the first time he ever scores in a Chelsea shirt in a 6-0 win against Barnsley. What I think we're going to see from Lampard moving forward is this Chelsea team being built around Kai Havertz. I think despite all of the quality players that we have, this kid already, I mean, I know it was Barnsley, and again, I don't want to disrespect Barnsley, but it's not Man United, it's not Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, whoever it may be. I think I said Arsenal twice. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit nervous about Arsenal this season, but I think this Chelsea team moving forward will be built around Kai Havertz. The man's so young, he's so confident already, and we're already seeing his ability that he has to ghost in late into the box to score goals, to have the confidence to round the goalkeeper and almost dribble the ball into the net, left foot, right foot, headers, the man's tool. And I think that hat-trick is absolutely perfect for Havertz moving into Premier League form. Obviously, the opposition is going to improve. We've got West Brom up next, and I think we've got another newly promoted side after. But I think this Chelsea team moving forward, with that performance we saw from Havertz and the positive words that are being said about him since that game, I think moving forward, Chelsea will be building the team around Mr. Havertz. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. And I also want to talk today about whether or not Chelsea's transfer business this summer is over. We know Declan Rice has been the man that everyone's been looking to complete, finalise what has been an incredible transfer window for Chelsea. And I wanted to ask you guys the question about whether or not you feel this window has still been perfect, whether Rice comes through the door or not. Supposedly, Declan Rice is very keen on the move to Chelsea. If we look at the current situation at West Ham, it doesn't look good. I think they're going to really struggle this season and could be contenders for relegation. Does Declan Rice want that move now? Will West Ham let him go? That is the serious question. West Ham have always said that they want 80 million for a club to acquire the services of Declan Rice. It is a lot of money. I would say at this point, he's not shown me £80 million worth of value, but we've got to remember this is the Premier League. This is an English club, London rival, selling to another club, and West Ham are very well aware that he is one of their best players, if not their best player in the squad. He's still very young. He's got captain capabilities, with Mark Noble's involvement maybe being less now than it was before. West Ham don't want to lose their man, but Chelsea is still very interested in Declan Rice. I don't know if it's going to be possible this window. The main sticking point is going to be whether players can leave to accrue the value that we'd have to spend to break the bank on Declan Rice. 80 million would be a club record signing. I don't think Chelsea are interested in breaking their own record twice in one window, but I also think that Declan Rice would be a player for Chelsea's future if we don't see Jorginho at the club for much longer, if other players want to leave. We know that N'Golo Kante has piqued interest from Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Inter Milan. All of these clubs are after players that want to play or do play in similar positions to that of Declan Rice. I don't think it's going to happen this window, personally. This is probably one of the last Chelsea news videos I'll be able to do where we speculate on any of this stuff. If Chelsea want to get a bid in for Declan Rice to get it over the line before the window closes on October the 5th, Chelsea are going to need to start operating with moves very, very soon. I've already mentioned here on the George Benson Football channel many times that I do think that Declan Rice would be a wonderful signing for Chelsea, not just for the immediate, because we know that he's already got a lot of qualities, doing bits on the pitch at West Ham, but he's very, very young. And I think Chelsea looking forward, not only are we building this young side, but we do need players. And it came out recently from John Obi Mikel saying that when he was at the club, he was 24 years old, and he knew that he could still shout at Lampard, Terry, Cech, Drogba, because he knew that those senior players around him, the older players, he knew that the more senior members of the squad, who are obviously bigger characters within the squad, he knew that those guys wanted other leaders on the pitch. So what John Obi Mikel said about this Chelsea team is that right now, despite there being a lot of talent, there isn't necessarily that leadership capability from these young players, or the ability to grab someone on the field and shout at them and tell them what to do in a way that's constructive. That is something that this Chelsea team are missing. I didn't want to let that one go from Mikel. I thought it was a big important thing to bring up. And I think that Declan Rice, despite being 21 years old, is definitely that kind of character who can bring that kind of personality, that kind of impetus to demand more from players on the pitch. It's all well and good if you're a big name in the dressing room and you shout at your teammates and tell them what to do, But the one thing, and I brought this up against Liverpool, when you can hear the players shouting on the field or on the touchline, the manager's input, this Chelsea team does lack communication. It does lack that person ordering people around on the pitch in a constructive manner. And I think Declan Rice not only would fit the bill of a very good footballer, but he would also be that communicator and the bridge of the gap between some of the more shy players in the squad, considering this team is still very young. So let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments down below. Declan Rice to Chelsea. I'd love to see it happen. It's already been the most streamy window ever, but we're going to see whether or not it happens over the course of the next 2 weeks. I'd love to see it, but I think realistically, it might happen next summer. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Start talking about the game against West Brom that's coming up on Saturday night. I'll be doing my match preview tomorrow. And I'd love to read you guys' comments about what you're looking forward to in this game. Who do you think is going to start? And I'll start looking at some of you guys' comments when I make my mind up, because I feel as though, even though I'm not the manager and nothing really rides on my match preview, it's bloody hard with players coming back from injury and some of the quality we saw on show midweek. I don't know who to pick for this game for Chelsea. Let me know who you'd pick in the comments, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. See you all there. Come on, you Blues.